Is LeBron James really the greatest of all time?
Oh, man, that's the question, isn't it?
We're going deep on this one. And what does greatness even mean when you're talking about a sport with this much history? You know?
Well, and it's so interesting with LeBron because it's not just like looking at numbers on a page. His whole journey, even starting back when he was a kid, like how that shaped the whole conversation around him.
Yeah.
Just try to picture this. Okay, 15 years old,
Okay.
dealing with poverty, like real instability at home.
Yeah.
And then boom, you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Wow.
They're calling you the chosen one.
The chosen one at 15.
That is a lot to carry.
Yeah, before you even like graduate high school, basically.
Right.
I mean, most 15-year-olds are worried about like passing their driving test,
Totally.
not like living up to the hopes of an entire sport.
I know, that's crazy,
What
right?
a
Right?
pressure.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
absolutely. And, basketball for LeBron when he was a kid,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't just a game.
Right.
It was like an escape. He was literally moving from home to home growing up.
Wow.
So it's like it brings this whole other layer of resilience and determination to his story.
Yeah, it's the ultimate underdog story, right? Like
Yeah.
rising above all these crazy circumstances, achieve something incredible,
Yeah.
but then boom, drafted first overall by his hometown team.
Yep.
The Cleveland Cavaliers, straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school.
Like, did anyone think a teenager could handle that kind of pressure?
It's interesting because his rookie season stats,
Mm-hmm.
they kind of paint a pretty clear picture. I mean, over 27 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game. Like he instantly transformed the Cavs.
Right.
Even if they weren't winning championships right away. It makes you think about, how much playing for his hometown, with all that hometown pride and expectation,
Right.
like how much that played into his early career decisions.
Right, because it's like the whole city was holding its breath, just waiting for him to bring home a championship.
Exactly.
And then that kind of leads us to the decision, right?
Yeah.
His move to Miami in 2010.
2010.
I remember people were like burning his jerseys in the street.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that move, like as controversial as it was necessary for him to really reach his full potential?
I mean, it's such a fascinating chapter in his story, right?
Yeah.
LeBron was clearly looking for a team that was built to win championships.
Yeah.
And you know what? He did just that. 2 back-to-back titles in 2012 and 2013.
Wow.
It showed that he could win under immense pressure
Mm-hmm.
with a different team dynamic,
Yeah.
and he could adapt his game to succeed.
It's interesting because you could argue that those years in Miami were like crucial for his development
Totally.
as a player and a leader. But then he goes back to Cleveland in 2014.
He does.
Talk about a redemption arc. It became about so much more than just basketball at that point. It was about fulfilling a promise to his city.
Absolutely.
And the way he delivered in 2016,
Oh, man.
down 3-1 against a historically great Warriors team. That block on Andre Iguodala in Game 7, that's forever etched in NBA history.
Iconic.
It just encapsulates like his refusal to quit,
Mhm.
his sheer will to win, bringing Cleveland its first ever NBA championship.
That's the stuff legends are made of.
It is.
No doubt about it. Those Cleveland years cemented his legacy. But we can't talk about LeBron without talking
The
about
LeBron-Jordan debate. It's unavoidable.
And while LeBron passes Jordan in total points, assists, and playoff points, it's not just about the numbers. We got to look at the context. How LeBron's assist number. They highlight a completely different style of play. Like, it's more focused on making his teammates better than just racking up points himself.
Right, so it's like comparing apples and oranges sometimes.
In a way.
I mean, but his longevity over 20 seasons, averaging over 25 points a game.
I know, it's crazy.
How is that even possible?
It's unheard of. I think it really shows his commitment to staying in shape and how he's evolved as a player. We got to talk about this point forward label too,
Yeah.
which is way more than just some fancy term. This is a 6'8", 250-pound force of nature who can see the whole court and distribute the ball like a point guard.
Wow.
It's not just that he's breaking records. He's totally redefined what it means to be a forward in the NBA today,
Right.
like the modern NBA. It's pretty amazing.
It is.
And that's what makes comparing him to Jordan so tough. Jordan was known for that killer instinct, like just taking over games in clutch moments. It's almost like a more individual kind of dominance. But with LeBron, it seems like it's more about empowering his teammates,
Yeah.
making everyone around him better.
It's really interesting how their different approaches to the game
Yeah.
reflect different eras of basketball.
Totally.
You know what else really stood out to me? It's how LeBron talks about what motivates him. He straight up says, I don't play for championships.
Wow.
I play for impact.
That's powerful.
It's a powerful statement, especially when you consider all the work he does off the court with his LeBron James Family Foundation.
It's more than just talk.
Right.
He's putting his money and his influence where his mouth is. This isn't just donating to charity.
Right.
He's directly involved in things like the I Promise School in Akron, which is designed to support kids who are really struggling and to give them opportunities they might not have otherwise.
I'm seriously impressed by that.
Yeah.
He's not just talking about social change. He's like actively creating it. And it makes me wonder, does that change the whole greatest of all time conversation?
Because when you look at LeBron's commitment to education, how he speaks out for social justice, the fact that he uses his platform to talk about important issues, it adds a whole other dimension to his legacy.
Right.
It's bigger than just what he does on the court. It's about using your influence to make a real difference in the world.
I gotta say, this whole deep dive is making me rethink what greatness even means. Maybe it's not just championships and stats.
Yeah.
Maybe it's also about what kind of person you are, the impact you have on your community, the legacy you leave behind.
That's what makes LeBron's story so compelling. He's pushing the boundaries of what it means to be a successful athlete today. Like in the 21st century. It's not just about what you achieve on the court. It's about inspiring and empowering people. It's about leaving the world better than you found it.
Now, I'm also curious about his business ventures. His media company, Spring Hill Entertainment. What can you tell me about that?
Well, it's a great example of how LeBron's thinking about the future, building his brand and a legacy that'll last way beyond his playing days. He's not just endorsing products. He's creating content, producing documentaries, telling stories that matter to him.
So it's about having ownership, controlling his own narrative, amplifying voices that might not otherwise be heard. Sounds like he's building an empire.
He's definitely a smart businessman, and he's using that business sense to help him reach his philanthropic goals, creating opportunities for himself, but for others too.
Okay, I have to ask, but
Okay.
is there anything LeBron's done in the business world that hasn't been successful? Or is he just winning at everything he touches?
Nobody has a perfect track record,
True.
but even his missteps can teach us something. You can learn as much from failure as you can from success. And what's clear is that LeBron is always evolving, learning, adapting both on and off the court. He's not afraid to take risks and push boundaries.
That's a really important point. It's not just about being successful. It's about that willingness to learn and grow, even from setbacks, having a vision and chasing it relentlessly.
Exactly. And I think that's a valuable lesson we can all take away from LeBron's story. Greatness isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's about always trying to be better, to make a positive impact, and to leave a lasting legacy.
Well, this has been a seriously insightful deep dive into the world of LeBron James.
It has.
But I feel like there's even more to uncover.
Well, his lifetime deal with Nike is estimated at over $1 billion.
$1 billion.
And it's not even just about the money at that point. It's about cultural influence. Like LeBron's signature shoes. People collect them. Fans love them. And his impact on what people wear, like sportswear trends, it's undeniable.
So he's not just representing a brand, he's shaping it. But it sounds like he's not content with just being the face of things. He wants to create.
Well, Spring Hill Entertainment is LeBron's own production company.
Okay.
And they've been doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Producing documentaries, TV shows. They even made a movie starring LeBron.
Wow.
So it's about having control, telling stories that matter to him, and bringing more diverse voices into the media.
So it's not just LeBron the athlete. It's LeBron the storyteller.
Yeah.
LeBron the entrepreneur. He's building something that will last way beyond his time on the court.
He is.
It's like a legacy within a legacy.
That's a great way to put it.
And it all goes back to his idea of impact. It's not just about getting rich.
Right.
It's about using what he has, his resources, his platform, to lift up communities, empower people, and change the game both on and off the court. So what does all this mean for you listening right now? Maybe it's a challenge to think about your own definition of greatness. Is it about reaching the top of your field? Is it about creating something meaningful that outlasts you? Or like LeBron seems to be saying, is it about the impact you have on the world around you?
That's a good one.
That's something worth thinking about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
LeBron James's story is a testament to hard work, determination, and vision.
Yeah.
But it also reminds us that greatness isn't a finish line.
Right.
It's a journey.
Well, this wraps up our deep dive into the world of LeBron James.
It does.
It's been eye-opening, and I hope you've all come away with a lot to think about.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep striving for greatness.
Whatever that looks like for you.